Once upon a time, in a peaceful village nestled between towering mountains, there lived a young girl named Arya. Arya was known throughout the village for her kind heart and her beautiful voice. She would often sing as she wandered through the meadows and forests, her songs bringing joy to all who heard them. One day, as Arya was singing by the river, she noticed something unusual. The wind, which usually blew gently through the trees, seemed to be whispering something. Curious, Arya stopped singing and listened closely. The wind's whispers grew louder, forming words that only Arya could hear. "Help us, Arya," the wind pleaded. "We are trapped and need your voice to set us free." Arya was puzzled. "Who are you?" she asked. "We are the spirits of the four winds," the voice replied. "Long ago, we were captured by a wicked sorcerer and bound to the mountains. Our powers have been weakened, and the balance of nature is in danger. Only a pure voice, like yours, can break the spell that holds us." Arya knew she had to help. The four winds were responsible for the seasons, the weather, and the harmony of nature. Without them, the world would fall into chaos. Determined to free the spirits, Arya asked, "What must I do?" "You must journey to the top of the highest mountain," the wind explained. "There you will find the sorcerer's stone, the source of our imprisonment. Sing with all your heart, and your voice will shatter the stone, releasing us." Arya nodded, her mind made up. She hurried back to the village, where she packed a small bag with food, water, and her favorite scarf, which had belonged to her mother. Then, she set off on her journey. The climb begins. The path to the highest mountain was long and treacherous. Arya had never ventured so far from the village before, but she was determined to succeed. As she climbed higher, the air grew colder, and the terrain became more rugged. The first day passed without incident, but as night fell, Arya found herself in a dense forest at the foot of the mountain. She set up a small camp and tried to rest, but the wind's whispers continued to echo in her ears, urging her onward. The next morning, Arya resumed her climb. The path became steeper, and the trees thinned out as she ascended. By midday, she reached a rocky plateau where she encountered a massive eagle perched on a boulder. The eagle's feathers were as white as snow, and its eyes gleamed with wisdom. "Where are you going, young one?" the eagle asked in a deep, resonant voice. "I'm on my way to the top of the mountain to free the spirits of the four winds," Arya replied. The eagle nodded. "You are brave, but the journey is dangerous. The sorcerer has placed many obstacles in your path. However, I can help you." The eagle spread its wings and flew up to a nearby cliff. It returned with a small, glowing feather. "Take this feather," the eagle said. "It will protect you from the sorcerer's magic." Arya thanked the eagle and carefully tucked the feather into her scarf. With renewed determination, she continued her climb. The sorcerer's stone. As Arya neared the summit, the weather grew harsh. Dark clouds gathered overhead, and a bitter wind whipped around her, trying to drive her back. But the eagle's feather glowed brightly, shielding her from the worst of the storm. Finally, after hours of climbing, Arya reached the top of the mountain. Before her stood a massive stone, black as night and covered in strange, glowing runes. This was the sorcerer's stone, the source of the four winds' imprisonment. Arya took a deep breath, her heart pounding. She knew what she had to do. Standing tall, she began to sing. Her voice, clear and pure, rose above the howling wind. She sang of freedom, of harmony, and of the beauty of the natural world. The runes on the stone began to flicker, their light growing weaker with each note. As Arya's song grew louder, the wind itself seemed to join in, swirling around her in a powerful vortex. The stone trembled, and cracks began to appear on its surface. With one final, powerful note, Arya's voice reached a crescendo. The stone shattered into 1,000 pieces, releasing a brilliant burst of light. The wind howled triumphantly as the spirits of the four winds were freed at last. They swirled around Arya, their voices full of gratitude. "Thank you, Arya," the winds whispered. "You have restored balance to the world. We will always be with you, wherever you go." The return home. With the winds free and the sorcerer's stone destroyed, the weather calmed, and the dark clouds dispersed. The sky was now clear, and the sun shone brightly on the mountain peak. Arya felt a warmth in her heart, knowing she had done something truly important. As she made her way down the mountain, the wind gently guided her path, ensuring her safe return. When she finally arrived back in the village, the people were amazed at the change in the weather. The air was fresher, the skies were clearer, and a gentle breeze blew through the village, bringing with it the scent of blooming flowers. Arya's grandmother, who had been worried about her, embraced her tightly. "You've done something wonderful, my dear," she said, her eyes filled with pride. Arya smiled, knowing that the spirits of the four winds would always watch over her and the village. She continued to sing, her voice carrying through the hills and valleys, a reminder of the brave girl who had freed the winds and saved the balance of nature. And so, Arya lived a life full of song and joy, forever connected to the winds that whispered their gratitude in her ears. The end.